Imagine yourself standing in a place older than the dinosaur. A place where every step takes you 375 million years into the past. 375 million years. Just imagine that. I can't even know what is a million year, but this is 375 million years into the past. Today, folks, I'm going to show you something that is better than food. This is a piece of our past, the Earth history. And let's dive in. I'm Sue, storyteller, creator, and explorer of soulful experiences. From kitchens to hidden gems, I share journeys that blend heritage, mindfulness, and discovery. Where the ground beneath you isn't just a rock anymore, it's an ancient ocean floor. Picture this, you're walking across a seabed where sunlight once filtered through warm, shallow waters, but the ocean is long gone. Beneath your feet lie the imprints of ancient creatures that lived hundreds of millions of years before humans existed. Every ridge, every fossil, and every ripple in the rock is a whisper from the world that once thrived with coral reefs, strange, shell-like animals, and early life forms, exploring a young Earth. As you move across this stone canvas, you're not just observing history. You're standing inside it, connected to a time when this quiet ground was alive with motion and mystery. Imagine yourself standing now on something that is 375 million years ago. Earth is really old. So, welcome to the Devonian Fossil Gorge, a rare window into Earth's deep history revealed not by time but by disaster. When a massive floods tore through Iowa in 1993 and again in 2008, they stripped away up to 17 feet of soil and rock, uncovering a prehistoric seafloor frozen in time. What fossils can you find here? This landscape was once a warm, shallow sea, similar to the Caribbean today, and the creatures that live here left their stories behind. Take a look. You will find Brachiopods, ancient shell-like creatures that dominated the Devonian seas. Brachiopods are marine animals that look a bit like clams, but they're actually a completely different group with their own unique anatomy and history. They live inside two hard shells and anchored themselves to the seafloor, filtering nutrients from the water. These creatures were incredibly abundant during the Paleozoic era, especially in the Devonian period, which is around 419 to 359 million years ago. In places like the Devonian Fossil Gorge, their fossilized shells are some of the most common and beautifully preserved reminders of ancient ocean life. Another thing you can see is corals, evidence of a reef systems that once thrived here. The corals found in the Devonian Fossil Gorge are the fossilized remains of ancient reef-building communities that thrived more than 375 million years ago, when Iowa was covered by a warm, shallow tropical sea. These aren't the colorful, branching corals we picture today. They belong to two extinct groups. The tabulate corals, which is the honeycomb corals. Just like its name, these form tightly packed colonies with hexagonal patterns that look like a honeycomb pressed into stone. They built broad, mound-like reefs and were some of the most important reef architects of the Devonian Sea. They are the architects that built the structures so that other creatures could live and survive around it. And there's another type that is the horn corals, also known as the Brachiopods corals, often shaped like small horns or cones. These could live alone or in colonies. Their external structure shows beautiful radiating lines, almost like the spokes of a wheel. Many of you see at the gorge are solitary horn corals embedded in the limestone. And what do they tell us? These corals reveal that the Devonian Sea here are warm, clear, and full of life, similar to the Caribbean today. The fossils are so well preserved that you can still see the fine details of their skeletons frozen in place since long before dinosaurs existed. How mind-blowing is that? And that's not all. Beneath your feet lies the silent architect of an ancient sea, and among its most delicate storytellers are the Crinoids. They are not plants, but animals, distant cousins of starfish. They once sway in warm tropical waters like underwater flowers, anchored to the seafloor of the world-long vanish. Imagine tall, almost like ferns, and they are swaying in these warm tropical waters. These are the Crinoids. And here in the Devonian Fossil Gorge, their remains appear as tiny discs and cemented stamps. You can see like stamps. Each piece a fragment of a creature that filter life from the currents. Imagine entire meadows of them, these plant-like animals, rising towards the sunlight, moving with the rhythm of the ancient ocean, and now preserved in limestone for more than 375 million years. How mind-blowing is this? And these fossils, when you look at them, they are whispers of a time when Iowa was a thriving marine world, a place of reefs, corals, and graceful Crinoids forests. And as you walk across this prehistoric seabed, you're not just observing the past, you're stepping into it. It's also kind of interesting how you can actually walk on the seabed. You're not just watching it from far, you can actually step on it and imagine yourself just being there with all the marine animals and plants around you. And also we have the trilobites and the early fish that reminds us of this age of the fishes. Remember that is even before dinosaurs. So that's just fish and marine life. So just a little bit about the trilobites. Trilobites were some of the earliest complex animals on Earth, armored, segmented creatures that crawl along the seafloor like ancient underwater beetles. By the time the Devonian Sea covered what is now Iowa, trilobites were already in decline, but a few species still thrive here. Their fossils often appear as small fragments, pieces of their hard exoskeleton, rich segments, or the iconic three-lobe shape that gives them their name. They are in three sections, so three-lobe. That's why it's called trilobites. And these remains are reminders of a lineage that survived for over 270 million years before disappearing forever. And the early fish, can you imagine? The Devonian is famously called the Age of Fishes, and the sea that once covered the fossil gorge was alive, and early fish, unlike anything alive today, they were found here. You would have found jawless fish with smooth armor-like plates. You would have found placoderms, powerful armored fish with bony head shield, and early loop fin fish, ancestors of the first creatures that would eventually walk onto land. and most fish fossils in the gulch appear as tiny bone fragments or scales, but each one represents a major step in the evolution of life, from simple swimmers to the first vertebrates that would one day walk on land and explore land. That is how old this place is, and I cannot tell you how I'm excited to tell you about this, because it's actually our chance discovery. We were driving somewhere in summer, we were doing a road trip, and in the Google map it came up and I say, hey, how about we go there? And this was such a precious find. And let me just give you an idea how old this Devonian period stretches back. It's 375 million years, and nearly 200 million years before the first dinosaur ever walked on Earth. If you watch Jurassic Park, it's all about the dinosaur, and this is 200 million years before that Jurassic period. And that this period that we're looking at on this seabed is just fish, early fish, and also the corals, and also the earlier creatures that was on Earth. And where do you find this place? If you're thinking of visiting or exploring this place, if you're in the area, don't miss this. It is a must visit. The Devonian Fossil Gorge sits just below the Coralville Dam in Iowa City and is part of the Coralville Lake recreational area. The exact spot where massive floods 1993 and 2008 stripped away layers of earth and to reveal this 375 million year old seafloor. It is because of the floods that this is stripped away and now we can see it. If you're driving into Iowa City, head towards Coralville Lake and follow the signs for the Coralville Dam. Once you reach the dam, you will see marked signs of the Devonian Fossil Gorge. There's a parking area right at the top, and from there, it's just a short walk down a paved path to the exposed fossil beds. Visitors can explore freely during daylight hours, and brochures for the self-guided tours are available at the entrance. There is also a virtual tour. If you cannot go there, take a look at the virtual tour and you can see it from anywhere you are. This is so precious. I do encourage you to have a look and see how our world was like back in those ancient times. And remember, this is a protected site, so look, explore, take as many photographs as you like, but never remove the fossils. Leave it for the next generation or for other visitors to take a look. And places like this, it reminds us of how small we are, how short our life is. Our existence is so short. We can't even imagine 1 million years, but we only live like 60 to 80, and this is 375 million years. And how vast Earth's story truly is. And the Devonian Fossil Gorge isn't just a destination, it's a time machine. It's a time machine that takes you back to this ancient, it's like a portal that takes you back to this ancient time, you know. So if you love exploring hidden natural wonders, ancient history, and cinematic travel stories, hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs a little adventure today. And tell me in the comments below, would you walk on the 375 million year old ocean floor? And how would your feeling be? And if you've been to this place, let me know, we can connect. And I find it to be so mind-blowing and so interesting that I wish I can go again and also go to many more that is similar to this. How blessed are we that we have a chance to visit this place and to be able to see the ancient earth that we love so much, and how I call that, you know, we should have peace and blessings in our mind and live life each day knowing that one day will pass. And this is how old Earth is. Preserve Earth as best as you can. Today we are not sharing the recipes or the foodie adventure because I feel this is more important and more precious, and this is why I'm sharing this today. Subscribe to learn more about our history, our connection, our community, our food, and how it's all connected. We are all connected to each other. Hit the like button, subscribe, comment below, let me know what you think of this place and whether you would like to go or whether you have been before. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.